Alrighty, we got Friday night to look at here for a midweek preview. Daggy and the Beaver are with you to get stuck into all of this. If you're watching this, of course, stick around because we'll have our Saturday preview up shortly. Beaver, you all right?
Good, mate. Yeah, Saturday preview as well. We'll be up and ready, and it's probably a little bit more of an exciting couple of cards than what we do get Friday night. But nonetheless, let's hope we can find a few winners here for the punters.
Absolutely. Let's kick off at Randwick Kensington. The railers in the 4 metre mark. Today, upgrade to a heavy 8. Hasn't been a great deal of rain around. I think it races better than that. I think it gets to the softish range. Has there been any rain out your way today?
Mate, I'm down at Randwick at the moment, and no, there hasn't been any rain around. So, all good.
Yeah, if we get done through the day, I think Kenzo's probably the best drying track in Sydney. So, should be fine. We kick off with a 1,300 metre maiden. Do you want to take us away?
If you say so. I'm going to go for number 8, Very Surreal here from the Waterhouse Bot Stable. Thought it trialled well enough in the lead up to this and didn't do a lot in its couple of runs. Last didn't work, but given easy time with the first 2 trials, but then come out in its last trial and won not quite nicely. Tuned up for this, can run well.
Look, I'm going to go again, just with Miss Emma, because I think the format of those 2 last maidens were pretty good. Tommy Berry will sit closer from gate 3, now 3rd up. I think the stable will think it's go time if it doesn't win this. Not sure. Well, it'll find something else eventually, but I think it's race. From Very Surreal, who, as you said, last time they pulled the trigger, took off and maybe showed everything it had, but maybe that's enough to win this race. I think there's 2 hopes, and the favourite is the main one for me. The second is a 1,400 metre maiden handicap. I hope we can run on. We haven't seen a lot of that lately at Kenzo, but if we can, I'm going to go with Duke of Lancaster on top. It was a decent enough run there in that last maiden. If Nash can pull out from gate 5 and run down, I don't want to say it'll blow away, but I think it'll run well if we're swooping. And going to make the main danger Pasima, who I saw out at Hawkesbury, and it looks a really lovely style of a horse. Probably wants it drier, though. Big lug of a thing. I think can improve at around $13 as a danger. And I might have missed the whole point here was Zouphouria just jumping straight into Bunny and pissing off and winning. Is that the way you're going to go?
I am going to go with that. I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I don't think the rest of them are actually that good at chasers, and I think it controls. Tim Clark on board up front, leads and wins.
Really excited to see. I'd love to see Gay and Adrian win the premiership. They've got a bit of lead at the moment, but I'd love to see them just hang on and win that from Waller for a change. But anyway, different story. Third is an 800 metre benchmark 72, and the only possible horse here I can entertain is Brenner, coming off a midweek win last time out. But it is Brenner, and I've just said it out loud, so it's not like I'm filled with confidence here in average race. If you want to make a case for others, such as Irish Chris's, I would respect that. Jet Stanley still yet to win me back, and the rest of these, this race, probably could happen at Rockhampton, and you wouldn't be much surprised. Anything here?
Brenner for me.
Cool.
You've said it all. Got it on top. Think if it comes here, it's going to run a big race, and certainly think it's the hardest to beat. So on top for me as well.
Race 4 is a 1,250 metre benchmark 64. You got something for me?
Have I got something for you? Pretty tricky affair, this one. I just went for the resumer here. How dare you? From the Blue Stable. Thought its runs last preparation were okay against some decent company. Had a couple of runs in Melbourne, and I've got it on top here. Could be hardest to beat from Triez or Treasy, number 8, however you say that. I think it's probably the main danger. I think it's the main danger. So that's my other tip.
I'm going with the obvious here. Zooprint sat outside lead last time out. Fleetwood, who's a nice horse, had Reece Jones flapping up the straight there. Now gets Nash, probably rolls forward. If doesn't roll forward, just tucks straight in behind Celestial Spirit. and I think he'll probably win here from Canadian Ruler, who that form's really good around it, and trials were good. Have a concern, as I mentioned, about the jock, and that's why actually I didn't put it on top. How dare you? I had several looks at. I just wanted to find a bit more of those trials because it did come up with a spruik, and I think we were quite bullish on it last prep. So, yeah, interested to see it resume. It might well be the best horse in this race. The fifth is a 1400-metre benchmark 72, 2 hopes, and I've gone with Nash getting this one right. Louisville resumed really well under a nice ride for J-Mac, and I think Nash will just tag straight on the back of Cloudland. He'll pull out around 150. He'll Nash it up the straight and get it home from Cloudland, and that's a race. If you tip the other way around, it wouldn't shock me because Cloudland might get into soft lead here, coming back from that Wednesday decent enough race behind Step Aside. But, yeah, I'm just going that way, backing the Nash factor, Beaver.
I'm with you. I'm going to stick as well. I'm pretty keen on this one. Good win last start. Has all the ticks to run well in this, and I think it might be just too good again.
The 6 is a 1400-metre benchmark 72. I'm going to come out of that same race in Miss Fabergé. Lovely first up win. Went to the Step Aside race where it just couldn't possibly win there. Gate 2, I'm hoping gets a nice suck, and if it gets out, I think can win this, and at the price is still well worth backing. Especially because there's not a great deal of guts to Serene Nick's form, apart from the fact it has Nash on top. And the rest of these are just going around and around. Any other thoughts?
No, I'm with you, Miss Fabergé as well. I thought the first up win at Hawkesbury was outstanding. Flash tone there was a really nice win, and I think you're right. It wasn't far off Step Aside. It was only a couple of lengths and wasn't really given much chance, but showed enough. I think a little bit of flat there. Third up here is perfect and got it on top to run well.
Absolutely. I really wanted to go and find Venetian Blue, but the trialled like a slug again, so it's like, how do you get excited? The 7th is benchmark 72, 1250 metres. Maybe the most interesting race on the card. Who have you come up with?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the favourite here in the resumer in Cool Jakey. Had a couple of nice wins when last time in, and then stepped up into ran well in a benchmark 72 and followed it up with only a few lengths off Rosita in a listed race. Sent back to spell and come out with 2 nice trials and resumes here in a very winnable race first up. Got it on top.
I do too. You've covered off well. It's the proper short courser in the race. Joe Pride has really done well out of the Mark Newnham leaving. He's picked up some nice horses, and this is another one. I think he'll get this right as the short courser in the race to kick off with a win here. Looking for a danger. I think Dynamic Spirits now coming over has had 1 trial for Nash and won it well, leading, and potentially could run well here at $14. And the other one is the other Joe Pride horse, Mission Value, who nothing happened in prep last time out. Has gone to Pride, and at 50s might be worth something for your trifectas, but yeah, not a lot else here, really. A little bit happy to pen show high perhaps to my regret. You got a best and value for us?
Yeah, my best bet comes up in race number 2, number 8, Zouphouria, and my value comes up in race 1, number 8, Very Surreal.
Let's kick off with a winner. Race 1, number 7, Miss Emma, and my value on a tricky day for value. Look, it in on top, but I think Dynamic Spirits over the odds at the $15 it is. Opened at, I think it was 27s when I did the form. We'll make that the value. Let's head down to the Valley. For those that have stuck around, where it is a soft track, but again, watching the rain along the way with the rail in the 2-metre position, I believe. Yep, that looks about right. And pretty average Friday night fair, to be honest. Kick off with a 1200-metre maiden plate. Beaver, has anything caught your eye?
Matt. It is a pretty weak card at the Valley, but no, what did I like in the first? I liked Princess Pia. I thought it was resuming might run decent enough race. Only had the one start. Uh, it wasn't overly fancied in the market, but I thought it ran on okay. So I thought, given that time and now back here, could run well in what looks to be a race of plenty of chances.
Only two also going to entertain the two Aussie debutants here. One is Faithful Champion, who did not much in Hong Kong, but comes here. Jump out's been beautiful. Gets Mickey D, probably rolls forward. It's on top from Steel King, who's had plenty of education to get ready for this. And Peter Moody knows what he's doing. I think he'll be ready to go here. Two key hopes in the first. The second is a 1200 metre benchmark 64. And the market is right. You found Juggle last time out. It won well. If Mickey D pushes forward, I think it can win this. But So Glamorous was very impressive, chasing down the leader in its debut. I think the two hopes at that price, I'd probably cover both. Anything else?
No, Juggle for me. I've gone for the same thing. I think those two hold the key there, but I'll put Juggle on top. That was a good win last start, and I think you can back it up with a good draw.
Race 3 is a 2,500 metre benchmark 64, and the money has come for the Genius, who I like. It was very good last start in a race we're going to see a bit of the form of over the weekend. We see Cadmus at Caulfield. Damien Lane takes over. Suck run from gate 2. And if the rain's around, I don't think that's an issue. Staying definitely won't be an issue by So You Think out of placement, who she wanted Oaks or something, placed in an Oaks. But both can stay. I think this is a lovely race for it. And I'm not going to talk about any of the other of these. Anything else?
Same for me. I've gone the Genius. I think like the fact the money's come for it, and for all the reasons you've said, hardest to beat, and it's been racing against a little bit better company than this, I think.
Fourth,
and acquitting itself okay.
Yeah. The fourth is a mile benchmark 70 Starian, also in at Caulfield. Who do you like?
I've gone for Starian here. I think it'll start here, and I think it'll be super hard to beat. This is an open race. Plenty of chances here. Most of these go all right, I think, but I think it just might get the right run from the 2 gate. Both runs in this time have been pretty good. First up, won really nicely at Pakenham after being well fancied, and then went to Flemington and wasn't disgraced. That wasn't a bad run there over the 1700. I think suited back here to the mile. Going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, same. This is a perfect race for it. I think it's better than benchmark 70 grade. My concern is it hasn't done it yet on the wet, but as a Sebring mare, you'd think at some point she will. A lot of that stuff's been in proper company. Gate 2, Daniel Moore, all looks good to me. From Great Northern, who went out a winner, came back a winner, and is up and going, will run well. I think they're the two key hopes here, actually. And, yeah, at the prices, may have a good bet, star out and cover the other one. The fifth is benchmark 64 over the mile, and I'm going to stick with the winning form in Lady Tino, who has never done anything wrong. She's going to roll forward here again. Should have the rail in her favour, and is on top. And I think coming off the likes of the Mornington wins, I think Valley will suit her, and gets a bit of a claim for good measure from Simeon, who will push forward, and if the rail's a place to be, is the main danger. I actually thought Foolproof was a little bit disappointing first up. I did like its work going into that. Maybe I've jumped off one early, but she's going to take it on here at the price. What do you think?
I think you might be off too early, mate, because I do think it will be winning. I think it just might be too good for these. I've got a clear on top pick here, and I'm not worried about the price.
All right, the 6 is a 20-40 metre benchmark 64. Who you found?
Oh, this is awful.
Yes.
This is just an awful race here. I've gone for number 9, Highland Hill. I don't even know why. Just Yeah, I just think this is an ordinary race. These horses don't win very often. I got it on top. I thought its resumption was okay. Gets out now to the 2,000 metres, and that's it. I
All
don't
right,
want to talk
thanks,
about this anymore.
thanks, Fever. I like your leg at night. Usually I'm negative Nelly, so it's good to see you chime in with some. I'll put Kalish on top, only because we've spoken about the same race 6 times today. So comes through the Cadmus race, and Cadmus we're saying is a proper horse, so has to run well. So it's on top from Untethered, who is at least now third up in Australia, and hopefully Celine takes it forward. What do you mean to say? The seventh is benchmark 64, 955 metre challenge, and I'm going to just go with the fact I think, depending how wet this track is, that Keane Enuff is a proper horse. It blew away a maiden field on debut, went to a proper Saturday race, and probably didn't really handle the straight there. It happened a little bit quickly. It's come back, trialled really well, comes here, and if it's got some talent, I think can win this. From Amanatu, who got a soft lead and won really well last time out, but was around about 57 or 58 in a 55-second challenge. So didn't exactly scorch the turf there, but if all things go the same way, might get the same cosy lead and be the danger. Hydro Star is racing really well, but has been racing really well for about 5 years and hasn't won one in that time, so next best. Anything for you?
Yeah, keen enough for me. I'm keen enough on it.
Oh, good.
Um, it was very good. Backed off the map for the start. Absolutely put pay to him. Looked like it might be a horse with a bit of ability. Straight into town to open class company, 4 lengths behind Cause for Concern, which we know is a good horse. And yeah, did race a little bit ungenerously there. Spelled after that, freshened up here, tried well, hard to beat.
The last is a 1,200 metre benchmark 64. How are we finishing off the evening?
Yeah, tough way to finish off the evening. I've gone for number 6, Royal Invader. I think it can be hard to beat here. Um, Resumed with a nice second, albeit at a Tuca in a benchmark 64. That was behind Pink Bow Tie, who's come out and won again since then in decent company. So that was a good form line for me. And then started favourite at Ballarat and just didn't quite finish it off there. But I think Fitter now, third up, can run well.
I know with Miss Icelandic on top. It resumed behind Mornington Glory, who is a horse you've got a bit of an opinion of. Second up, sat outside lead at the Valley here and was fine. Just had a lot of work to do there. Gate 10, I'm hoping Celine maybe can find a back to suck along on off the maybe find 1-1. If it does do that, I think she'll win. I think she's a decent enough horse. And she goes on top, and I really couldn't make too many other cases by this stage. 40 races into this weekend, I'd had enough. So it's on top, and I'm going to be my best of the day. Race 8, number 1, Miss Icelandic. And my value, I found a bit tricky here. I'm going to, let's say, race 1 at number 5. Steel King at $5 or $6 might be some value. I think the Genius runs really well, though. The other ones, race 3, number 2. Beaver, your best in value.
Yeah, I can't. My best bet is race 7 at number 10, Keen Enough. I think we can get the chockies
Cool.
there. And I didn't have a value, so I just come up with another race 5, number 5, Foolproof. I think it'll be winning. So it's just 2 bests for me there. Thank you, my friend.
No worries. I assume you haven't had a chance to look at anything else around on a Friday.
I did have a quick look at Sunny Coast. Thought I could pluck a couple there for us. Race 3, number 11, Flying Demore. I think it'll be hard to beat, and you can back that up in the next race for number 9, Outweighed.
Beautiful. As I've mentioned in the other show, if Tavi times at Mudgee, it'll win race 7, number 2, and race 6, number 1, Seguso's also there. It'll win as well. Cool. That will do us for tonight, Beaver.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, mate. I will see you next week for as we play on into December and head towards Christmas, a midweek preview. And I assume the Villiers and stuff's coming up soon. We'll get into that. And take care, guys. Talk soon. Check out the Saturday preview, of course, and check out pro.racing.com.au.